Hi, my friends. I'm David Hayward, your Naked Pastor here. And what I want to talk with you about today is why I don't recommend reconstruction. A lot of times I see people in the comments when I talk about deconstruction, which I talk about a lot, is that yes, but you have to reconstruct. You have to believe in something. I'm here to say I don't recommend it. And I'm going to explain why in several different steps. So first, maybe it'd be helpful if I explained what I think deconstruction is. I think I was the first one to actually use the French philosophical term deconstruction in reference to our spiritual growth, and specifically the erosion of our beliefs, the dismantling or the tearing down of our beliefs. So, you know, many of us have gone through this maybe quite early in our lives, maybe some of us later, where we're like, I don't know if Jonah was swallowed by a whale. And then, you know, somebody down the road says, well, it wasn't, it's literally interpreted a great fish, not a whale. I don't know if that helps or not. And, you know, that he was spent 3 days. Oh, you know, and then, you know, we talk about the flood and how it's not possible, and then people show you the stratus of different layers in the Grand Canyon or whatever, and you begin to wonder, and you think, well, you know, would God really kill that many people and just save so many, and blah blah blah. So we begin way back then dismantling, or we start experiencing the erosion of our different beliefs, things we've been taught, things we've been told, things we've read in the Bible or in other theological books. But that's where, for many of us, deconstruction starts, is where we question individual beliefs. Then we maybe go further, and this is what I recommend when we fully deconstruct, is that we actually begin to deconstruct the belief, not just beliefs. We actually start deconstructing belief in general. And, you know, I don't know about you, but the way I was raised was that belief was in spite of the facts. That, you know, we believed in spite of what the world said or what science says or whatever. We believe, you know, we have blind faith. I remember not long ago, there was a pastor on, I think I saw it on Facebook, where he said, even if the Bible said 2 + 2 is 5, I would still believe it. And that's what I'm talking about, that kind of blind faith, that kind of belief, you know, God said it, I believe it, that settles it, you know, kind of a thing. The Bible says it, I believe it, that settles it, where we just accept it. It's like the world was created in 6 days. La 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 la. We shut out all other facts. We shut out the science. We shut out all the evidence, all the data, all the information. We shut it all out, and we just believe blindly whatever. And deconstruction, when it continues down this path, it starts with beliefs, individual beliefs, but then after a while, this is how mine went anyway, we start to question belief itself, and you know, maybe the belief system we're in. So in my case, it was Christianity. I don't know what yours was. Maybe it was Islam or Judaism or Buddhism or Hinduism or whatever belief system you're a part of. We question certain beliefs, and then after a while we start thinking, gee, there's so many beliefs I don't agree with. Maybe the problem isn't just the beliefs, but the belief. You know, it's not just the content, but it's the package it comes in, you know, and where we actually start questioning the whole belief system and the whole religion, and, you know, and then see how we go from very specific to more general, more general, more general. So we question beliefs, then we question the belief, then we question our religion, then we question religion in general. This is healthy, by the way. I believe this is very healthy, where we question religion in general. Look, I'm not anti-religion. I think religion is a part of our culture. It's with us. It will always be with us. I think it starts out with good intentions. Religion is an attempt, I think, of people to explain the great mysteries of life. And so it's a legitimate endeavor, I think. I'm not down with religion. I don't wish to ban religion. And, you know, that's a useless and fruitless and dehumanizing project anyway, as we've seen through history. Religion's here with us, and it's here to stay, and it expresses itself and manifests itself in different cultures in different ways. But we, as individuals and as people with intelligence, have the right to, I've got to make sure I'm looking at the right spot, have the right to question not just the beliefs that religions, you know, teach, but also the whole religion itself. Like, if a religion crops up in a culture to explain something, I need to realize that it's a human attempt to explain a mystery. It's not some kind of a divine, you know, download. It's not some kind of a divine revelation for the human race. Here's the truth, la, angels singing and everything, and you must receive it, you must accept it, and you must live this. Even though religion teaches it's that way, it's men, and I think that's people in an attempt to divinize their thoughts and to give it authority and to give themselves power over the collective, the human collective. And so I think true deconstruction is just the dismantling of all these beliefs, our religion, and religion in general. Everything comes under the knife of the knife of deconstruction. Nothing is exempt. Everything is questioned. Absolutely everything has to be questioned. I remember when I was in some of the most heated moments of my deconstruction, when I would say, yeah, I'll deconstruct, I'll question everything except I'll never give up on believing in God, and I'll believe in Jesus as my Savior or whatever, you know. And excuse me, that was people who say that to me now, and like, that's fine. You can think that, but fasten your seatbelt. And we all like to comfort ourselves. It reminds me of a video I saw recently of a young woman who said, "Has anybody here still got their blankie from when they were a baby?" And she held up her blankie, and it's like this, just all that remains are these threads joined together. It's just this thing, but she still sleeps with it. And her husband's like, "You're weird," But deconstruction is like that for many of us, where we still want to carry a little bit of our beliefs with us because they bring us comfort through this very scary and traumatic time, right? And so, it's a legitimate thing. I'm not judging it. I did it myself. We all do it, where we hang on for as long as we can to things that bring us comfort until we no longer can hang on to them with intellectual integrity, right? So then, I've seen it where it is scary. It is traumatic. It's very dark. It could be called the dark night of the soul or whatever. And I've seen it where people get uncomfortable with this sort of spaciousness, that there's no beliefs to hang on to, no dogmas, no certainties or certitudes or facts to hang on to. And it is a very, very scary time. And so we see some people, and I'm not judging, again, I'm not judging at all through this. People will say, well, I feel more aligned with Buddhism right now. So I'm going to go and, become a Buddhist, study Buddhism and become a Buddhist, or I'm going to go deep into yoga, or I'm going to go deep into New Age and crystals and horoscopes and essential oils and, whatever. Or other people go into Hinduism or Islam or Judaism or atheism, any of the other belief or non-belief systems or philosophies or whatever, because it is scary to sort of be unhinged, It is scary to not have an anchor anywhere. I know it's scary, but this is an actual feature of deconstruction, is this scary sort of unmoored feeling, and that we're just floating aimlessly, and there's no safe harbor or anchor, and it is very scary and very, very unsettling. I've even seen some people who, because of its the traumatizing scariness of it, will revert back to their beliefs again. They'll just go back to the blind faith. They'll go back to I'm going to believe it. They'll even go back to an earlier stage in their faith development to ensure that this will never happen to them again. And they'll just slam the door on deconstruction, slam the door on questions, slam the door on doubt, and just, plant themselves firmly in their certitudes, in their dogmas, in their beliefs, and stay there. And, fine, I'm not judging you. But what I am saying is, though, they've stopped their deconstruction. They've stopped their journey, their spiritual journey into questions and into mystery and so on and so forth. And this is why I promote not reconstructing, not rebuilding again. It's kind of like this house that Lisa and I bought back in 2003. It was a cottage all chopped up into little rooms. And when I walked in, I could see an open concept. I have a vivid imagination, and I could see all the walls out, and the living room, kitchen, dining room, whole area would be one big open room. It's got a huge picture window looking out over the river, the Kennebecasis River, flowing in front of our home. And I could just see it. And so I took all the walls out. I put in, posts and beams and everything to hold up the ceiling, the roof, support beams and so on. And so now we enjoy living in an open concept kind of a place. So why build new walls is my point. I'm an open concept kind of a guy. I love the open concept. It's roomy, it's spacious, there's place to breathe, and we don't need walls anymore. We like it this way. And so that's why I think deconstruction is just simply that. It's taking away all of the stuff that was added on to us ever since we were infants. And we're taking that all away. It's kind of like a farmer with a field who's got a new field and it has never been cared for, and there's shrubs in it and old trees and stumps and rocks and pests and all kinds of stuff. And he has to spend all of his time taking out the rocks, taking out the stumps, treating it for pests, breaking up the ground, maybe introducing some compost, some fertilizer, from his cows or whatever. And just, it's all preparation. Nothing has to be, added. Maybe some compost, which is basically the soil and shit put together. and they just take away all the hindrances to growth. And then when they introduce the seed, it's free to grow. You don't have to pull on it. You don't have to sit there coaxing it. You don't have to do anything except provide the environment for growth, which is space and light and nutrition, and then it'll grow. And it's the same with our spiritual lives. Get all the encumbrances, get all the things out of the obstacles out of the way. And I promise you, you will grow and bear fruit. It's glorious. You know, I I just finished reading a biography of Einstein by Isaacson, really good. And Einstein went to his grave believing that there's a unifying theory. And even towards the end of his life, the last several years of his life, when quantum mechanics came out, quantum physics, that basically talked about the chaos of everything, he still believed that there must be a unifying theory pulling all this together. Even with his, law of relativity and gravity and light and all these laws of the universe that he became famous for writing, these theories, and quantum physics came along, quantum mechanics came along and just showed that there's also this chaos going on. He still believed there must be a way to explain all this, that the world isn't just the laws he spoke about, and the world isn't just chaos. Somehow there must be a unifying theory bringing all this together. I believe the same thing spiritually, is that there must be a unifying theory to explain why there are so many religions, and that there are so many commonalities, and that there's so much diversity, and that there can be unity in that diversity. I believe there is unity and diversity. I believe we are all connected, even though we all have different beliefs and, religions and faiths and all this kind of thing. I think those are just like thoughts on the surface. That's the chaos of quantum. But that deep down, there must be a unifying force, or there must be a unifying theory that brings it all together. And I believe that. And so we won't get to that revelation or realization or whatever if we keep skipping over into another set of dogmas or another religion or another set of beliefs, another set of certitudes. We need to somehow keep our mind open. Excuse me. We need to embrace the mystery. We continue to let things crumble, and preparing the field. We may not understand what's going on. There may be no certitudes to grab onto. We may not have certain beliefs. We may even question belief itself. We may question all religion. But somehow, all these are like ripples on the surface. But deep down, like this Kennebecasis River out front, there's all kinds of ripples on the surface. But deep down, there's one current holding it all together. And, I believe that. I started deconstructing decades ago. And I did go through all those steps of questioning this and that belief, and then questioning belief itself, and then questioning my own religion, and then questioning religion itself, and coming to this place of, it sort of culminated in 2009 when I had this sort of profound flash of insight that we're all connected, we're all one, and that there is this unity in all things, even in all this diversity, there is a unity. And I can't explain it, but I know it's true, and there must be a way to articulate this. And you know what? I've all the things I believed, all the things that I've been through, all the religion, all the spirituality, all the dogma and faith and all this stuff somehow all gets folded in. It's kind of like manure again, kind of like compost, which is half soil and half manure. All these things sort of fold in together to make the very rich and fertile soil out of which we grow, and out of which our spirituality, emerges. And so that's why I don't recommend reconstruction. Deconstruct is clearing the field. Reconstruction would be to introduce new obstacles to this openness and this universal kind of way of thinking and this unifying theory. Reconstruction is an attempt to get you to plant yourself in one particular spot rather than being a citizen of the universe. So I recommend, don't reconstruct. Just deconstruct and enjoy the space. wide open space. Much love, my friends. Talk to you next time.